In this series of tutorials, we are learning Creo from start to finish. In this current video, we will learn pattern concept in detail. I request you to watch this complete video to understand pattern concept perfectly. If you want to receive new video notifications every alternate Monday, Wednesday and Saturday, then please subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon. Please also like and share this video. Let's start with this tutorial. If we click here on this arrow below pattern, you will see that there are two patterns. One is pattern and other is geometry pattern. So at first we will understand what is the difference between pattern and geometry pattern. When you select any feature you want to pattern, the command shown here is pattern and not geometry pattern. So you will see that the difference is given in this help also. This pattern creates instances of a feature. Feature means single feature. So you cannot create pattern of multiple features using this pattern command. Whereas if you use geometry pattern, you will see that it can create pattern of multiple features as well as of surfaces and curves. Let's see here. If I select this single feature, it will show pattern command. But if I select multiple features, suppose if I press Ctrl and select this extrude one also, so here you will see that pattern command has been removed because regular pattern command is useful to create pattern of single feature only. And if we take our cursor here, you will see that the geometry pattern is still active. That means you can create pattern of multiple features using geometry pattern. So that is the first difference. Then geometry pattern regenerates more fast. If you have very large pattern of 1000 or 2000 features, then it is recommended that you use this geometry pattern because it will regenerate faster compared to pattern command. Then when we create pattern using pattern command, suppose if I select this extrude 2 and click here on pattern, so here you will see that extrude 2 is included in the pattern and it is not there in model tree. Suppose I will just create one pattern quickly so that we will understand the concept perfectly. Suppose I will create quickly one axis pattern. So here you will see that extrude 2 has been included inside this pattern. So it is not available if you want to use it for any other command. And suppose I will just cancel this pattern. Then we will again try creating pattern of this extrude 2 using this geometry pattern. So here you will see that extrude 2 remained outside of the geometry pattern. Suppose again I will quickly create one pattern so that you will understand that. So here you will see that this extrude 2 remain outside and it is not the part of the geometry pattern. And you can use that feature for any other command. So I will just undo it. So those are the difference between pattern and geometry patterns. Now let's start creating some pattern. Now here I have created one simple plate and I have created one hole using extrude command. So here is this plate and this is the hole. So both I have created using simple extrude command. Now here suppose I want to create pattern of this hole in number of rows and number of column format. So click here on extrude 2. If you want to use pattern command, you can directly click here, and if you want to use geometry pattern, then you will have to click here and click here on geometry pattern. Then here you will see that first option is direction. So this direction is useful to create rectangular pattern. So here it is asking for select one atom. So here it is giving in detail, select a plane, flat face, linear curve, coordinate system axis or axis to define the first direction. So using all these atoms you can define your direction. Suppose I will define direction by using this line. So I will just click here on this line. So here as per this line this direction is defined. Then here you will have to define number of members in the first direction, that is number of atoms. Suppose it is 5 and press enter. Then here you will have to define gap between those atoms. Suppose it is 60, enter. Then if you want to reverse direction, then for that you will have to click here on flip the first direction. So just click there so that pattern will be created in opposite direction. So again if I click here on flip, again it will create it in this direction. Then if you want in single direction only, you can directly click here on OK, so that pattern will be created. And if you want to define second direction, then you will have to click here to add atom. So just click here. So from here, this second direction parameters are started. Then I want to create pattern in this direction. So again I will click here on this edge. So here second direction is defined. Again now this second direction pattern is created in this direction. Suppose I want to create this pattern on this side. Then for that you will have to click here on flip the second direction. So here now pattern is getting created on this side. Then again you will have to define number of atoms. Suppose it is 5, enter. Then again here you will have to specify gap between atoms. Suppose it is again 60, enter. So here this rectangular pattern is created. Then if you don't want to include some members in the pattern, then you just have to click on them. So the atoms which are shown by white color will not be included in the pattern. Just click here on OK. So here pattern is created, and here you will see that those atoms has been hidden. And if you want to include those atoms also, then for that click here and click here on edit definition, and again click on those dots, those white dots. So once those become black, that means those members will be included in pattern. Then click here on OK. So here that pattern is created. So in this way you can create rectangular pattern. Next we will learn to create circular pattern. So what I will do, I will just remove this pattern. So just right click on it and click here on delete and click on OK. So all the atoms will be deleted. Then for circular pattern I will create one cylinder. So click here on extrude, then select this face, then just right press. That means you will have to just press and hold right button of your mouse. So in Creo, in the place of right click, you will have to use right press. So that means you will have to press that right button for some seconds. Then click here on circle, or you can also select circle command from here. Suppose I will click here, then specify center point, take your cursor away and click. Press middle mouse button, then again right press and OK. Then specify height. Suppose I want it 200, enter and OK. So here this cylinder is created. Then I want to create one hole for pattern. So again click here on extrude, then select this face, then again right press, click here on circle, then specify center point here, take your cursor away, click, then again right press, OK, then click here to reverse direction. Now here I want to create through hole, so click here and click here on extrude to intersect with all surfaces, then click on OK. So here through hole is created. Then I want to pattern this hole, so again click here on extrude 4. Suppose this time I will use this pattern command. Click here on pattern, then click here, click on axis. So for circular pattern you will have to select here axis. Then you will have to define one axis. Again for axis you can use datum axis or coordinate system axis. That means either you can select this x, z and y axis, or you can use any center line axis. So here while creating cylinder, this axis got created automatically. So I will select that axis. So here array is created for 4 atoms. So I want it to be 8 atoms. So here I will make it 8, enter. Then I don't want to define angle between those atoms, but I want to create pattern in complete 360 degree. So for that you will have to click here on this angle symbol, and you will have to define your angle to fill. So right now my angle to fill is 360 degree. Therefore it has created pattern in full 360 degree. Suppose if I want to create half pattern, then I will have to define here angle of 180 degree, enter. So here those 8 atoms has been filled in 180 degree. And if you want these atoms on the opposite side, then from here you can flip it. Just click here on flip button. So here pattern is transferred to other side. So I want this pattern of 360 degree, enter. Then if you want to further create this pattern, then here you will see that there is direction 2. So here is direction 2. Here you can define number of atoms in direction 2. Suppose I want it to be 2, enter. Then here you will have to define gap between those two atoms. Suppose it is 50, enter. Then click here on OK. So here that pattern is created. Actually gap will need to be more so that they will not merge. Suppose we will change that gap. Click here, click on edit definition, and suppose we will make it 70, enter, and click on OK. So here that pattern has been created perfectly. Or if you don't want this second direction, you can also remove that. Click here, click on edit definition, and from here again you will have to say one atom, enter, and click on OK. So here perfect circular pattern is created. Then when you use pattern command in place of geometry pattern, then as we have seen, that feature gets included in this pattern. So while deleting the pattern, you will have to take care. So when you right click on pattern which has been created using pattern command and not geometry pattern command, then here you will have two atoms. One will be delete, that means it will delete both the feature and the pattern. And if you want to keep the feature and delete the pattern, then you will have to click here on delete pattern. So it will only delete pattern and it will keep that feature using which we have created pattern. So just click here on delete pattern. So here extrude 4 remain as it is. Suppose I don't want this cylinder and this hole, so I will just select it, right click and delete. Okay. So up till now we have understood what is the difference between pattern and geometry pattern, and we have also learned to create rectangular pattern and circular pattern. So there are some more pattern types. So here you will see that there are further more patterns types like fill, table, reference, curve and point. So all these remaining patterns we will learn in next part of this tutorial. So please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We will again meet in next tutorial.